Hello folks, Chris Farley back from the Support and Education team here with our Getting Started series. The first one we went over a download of software, logging in, case sensitive username, we always need to note that, and the beginning start up there. In this I want to go over some of our scans and what we call right click magic and our menu bar a bit more. We're going to get right into it. We're going to start by going to new on our menu bar here. I'm going to start with an alert window right from the top. Alert window is a dual function window, has an alert or event in it. Alert or events, if we come to the search tab here, indicated by these single icons, and an alert or event example will be a new high, a new low. The stock is doing something specific. This is then coupled with what we call filters. These are indicated by the dual icons here. These represent a minimum in the teal, maximum in the purple. And so in order for us to get an alert, the event or alert has to be happening at the same time filters are met. Filter examples, price, number of shares traded, RSI. Those are different types of filters that we offer. In the search terms here, we can search for anything that we're looking for, and if we offer it, you will find it come back to you in that search. So for example, if we were looking for RSI, we would find it in the search. If we were looking for SMAs, we will find what we offer in SMAs from the search, so on and so forth. There are several tabs that go across here. We're going to go ahead and go through each tab and build out an example alert window here. So we could start with, for example, if we wanted to see stocks that were making a new high on the day, we would add that alert and we put a check mark here. Your window is going to come with some different defaults in it. It is going to be named breaking out on volume by default. It's just a default name. We're going to get to how we can change that in just a moment here. We can unselect any of the defaults that we don't want that may be living in here, and we can press hide unused. Next, we will decide, well, what kind of filters do we want? For example, if we wanted to price the range of this, we could select price and go to add filter, and that will take us to the Windows specific filters tab here, where we can add a minimum and maximum value here. And I could, for example, say I wanted to see stocks that were a minimum of $1 and a maximum of $100. If you ever have a question what values are doing to a filter when you add them, there's a show me function in the middle here with a magnifying glass. We go ahead and click that and it tells me show me stocks with a price between $1 and $100. We can update this live here. So for example, if I wanted to make that $10, we've made that adjustment there. We press OK, and that will transfer right back to here. We may say that we want to build something with some volume in it. We can type volume, and in it we're going to get all the different items that we offer for volume. If there's a question you have on any of these items ever, you can go ahead and select something, press help. We'll get a web page that looks something like this. It'll give us some different definitions and examples that we may or may not be able to use in the scan that we're trying to build. In this case, let's just go with volume and shares today. Very straightforward. We would add that filter. I could say that I wanted to see 1 million shares or more traded. I could put a 1M for 1 million. I could put the zeros to follow afterwards. Entirely up to you how you would like to do that. I may then decide that I want to see some kind of RSI on the scan. I can type RSI. It returns me the offers that we have. If I wanted a 5-minute RSI, I could go ahead and add that filter. It'll bring me back to the Windows specific filters tab, and I could say something like a 65 minimum on that. Now, all these data points that are in here, we can have them as visible data points once the scan is live, and that would be what we call our columns here. We can see that again, there will be different defaults here. There are some that live on the right side, which will be a bank. Some of these will come in and out based on recent settings that you've used. Some of them live there forever. For example, type, time, symbol, exchange, so on and so forth will always be there as options for you to move left to right or right to left. If we wanted a column that does not currently exist in this bank, for example, the 5-minute RSI is not currently there, I could select it here, show column, and now we've brought it over into the right side here, from the right side to the left side here. You could also move things back and forth using the arrow keys, so on and so forth. In the exchanges tab, these are the exchanges that you're offered to scan with trade ideas. By default, you'll have the major exchanges of the US. We do offer PINX, OCTB, OCTQX as well. There's the BATS, small exchange, so on and so forth here. Inside the strategies here, you're going to see different things that are inside the configure of the window already. There are also some different pre-configured items you can find in here, and if you've been working on something recently, maybe you want to get back to working on it but you hadn't saved it, you may find it under some of your recent settings as well. So a number of things that you can do in here. If we were to go ahead and press OK on what we've done so far, we would get returned a window that looks like this. And we can always name this window too. If we right click, come back to summary, we can come in here to the window name and we can name it my first scan, for example. And go ahead and press OK. And we can see the columns that are displayed here based on what we've asked it to display. We can always add or remove those. These columns can be shifted left to right, right to left, like so, for expansion or to close them down. We can also just grab the column itself and move it around to change the order of those as well. We can see here there's a time-stamped alert, gives us a date and time. We can expand this out to see a little further to the year if that's necessary. The type is the alert here. In this case, we have a new high, we have our symbol, and our price. So that is the shakedown on alert windows. For Toplist here, we're going to come, open a Toplist window from new. Toplist will work very similar to alert windows in the fact that they have filters. However, they do not have an alert event, and therefore there is no time-stamped alert. These auto-refresh themselves with the stocks that will meet them every few seconds here. We can go ahead and build out a Toplist just like we would with an alert window. There are going to be predefined defaults in there. You can go ahead and erase those. This will start out saying volume leaders here for you. Again, you can change that name to whatever you want. One caveat that's different with the Toplist windows is we can sort things on these in a different manner, meaning that if we have a top list and many stocks meet that top list, we can sort them in descending order of biggest values or smallest values. I'm going to show an example of this now. So if we had an alert window here, we're going to build it out with some of my defaults here with a $5 minimum and stocks that traded maybe just 5,000 shares on the day today here with a relative volume of 1, for example. There are odds, the odds are there are probably 1,000 stocks or more that may meet this criterion. So we have to tell this, how do we bring those in what order? And so our sort here in the tab will have some defaults based on the columns that we're using or recent use settings for us to choose from. Or we can search a sort from here in the bank of the search, and then we could press sort by. And this will tell the scan that the ones that in descending order or biggest on top will come first into the scan, or we could reverse it, the smallest on top would come first into the scan. Once you think about a fire hose of data and trying to push a watermelon through that, it's an enormous amount of data to try to push through such a small endeavor like that. It's the same idea with the scans here, and so there are X amount of stocks that can come onto any scan. We can change those and customize those slightly, but there are limits to data based on your ISP, your machine, and the configurations that you're using here. So in this case, we have a change from close percent. If I were to press OK, I'm going to get that change from close percent here. And we're going to see all these stocks that are meeting the criteria of that scan that are up the most on the day currently like that. This is displayed here like this. We can change that display sort by double clicking. And now the stocks that have met it with the smallest amount are on top. We could do it by volume. Either way, relative volume as well. We go ahead and right click, we can come back to the configure, and there are a number of other menus that we can find in the right click here as well. If we come under properties here, we can change the coloring of the scan, we can change the coloring scheme of the scan, we can change how the filters react to the colors of the scan as well. We have many documentations about this, feel free to email us about that as well. Those are the two most important scans that I want to go over in this video here. In the interest of trying to keep things to the shorter side, we'll move on to other types of scanning and other functions of software in other videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in another video.